There are philosophical symbols. This is a skull, or a skull and crossbones. This represents death, the fact that Masons must be aware of the fact that they only have so much time in life. They have so much time in life to achieve and to contribute to their society and to make use of that time wisely. There are lots and lots of symbols of this. The skull and crossbones was initially a symbol of the mortality of life, and it didn't become a pirate's flag until much later in human imagery. But the skull is a representation of the fact that in Masonic time, you spend 8 hours a day, you do your work, 8 hours at night you sleep, and the other 8 hours you work in study or in prayer or at home and in relaxation and so on. There's a whole time schedule here with Freemasonry. This is the symbol, the eye, the all-seeing single eye, very often appears in the Masonic symbol, and it represents the unity of the source of all being in the universe, sometimes called the grand architect of the universe, sometimes just called God. This is a hat that is worn by the master. This became conventional in England and in France. This was the dress of the bourgeoisie, not the high class and the upper class nobles, and not the peasant class, but the middle class. And this is the hat that was worn and is still in many lodges worn by the lodge master. And it represents that in Freemasonry all people are brothers. All people have equal footing, no matter what your wealth or your status or your royal pedigree is or anything else. Everybody are equal brothers. And so this is the hat of the bourgeoisie, which is worn by the master, representing that. This is a symbol that represents the death of a Mason, the broken column, the mourning of one who loves the Mason, and time with his scythe and so on standing behind her. The sprig of acacia that she holds is important and symbolic, and in Freemasonry there are special Masonic funerals and even graveyards that Masons go to if they so choose, and these are all symbols that are used in Masonic funeral practices, and they symbolize the hope of life after death. They symbolize the meaning of life and of a life well lived. You see that they're standing upon the third step of a raised stairway. This is, of course, the Masonic symbol, the square and the compass, and the G or the I, representing the Masonic philosophy that all beings and all things are under the guidance of a grand architect, or basically one must say that Freemasonry is philosophically monistic. They are philosophical monists who believe in the unity and the design of the universe.